Hello, everyone. Welcome to round one of the NEBVEMBER tournament. We are kicking it off with Maintenance is a Birch versus Team Incomprehensible Text, which we're calling G-Smash for now. Team 1, Maintenance is a Birch. I'm joined by my
Ghyghry,
cook-ester
right?
here, Scape. You can hear them.
Hello.
Anyways, Team 1
I believe it's Team Ghyghry is what we determined
Ghyghry,
to
was
be the
it?
pronunciation.
Yeah. No one in this tournament can pick a comprehensible name. Anyways, Maintenance is a Birch consists of Pyro, Star, Secret Mink, and Vren. Squaring off against them. You want to introduce them?
Yep, Team 2. We've got Davinen, Tasty Cookie, Velocity, and Dragonbender.
So round one is taking place on Gold Rush here. We're seeing ANS deploying high with the Prince of Wales battleship. Look at a couple of destroyers and some Axfords in the mix around here. Also looking like Mark the Time plus Friends in there. If I had to guess, that's Star with the good old Task Force Birch variant that they like to run.
And this is why we call this Team Maintenance is a Birch, instead of the other name that will get me banned from Twitch.
Anyways, taking a look at OSP side. You want to tell me what they got going on?
Yeah, we got a monitor ball going low here. You can see it's likely going to try and contest the area that the CL push low typically does on this map, but you can see ANS has deployed their CLs on the completely opposite side here. We also have a liner low as well, likely an A cap guard. Two liners going high above D, probably looking at that A ridge there. Those are likely 450 based on their positioning in that center area there, where they can make maximum use of those long sight lines. We also have a second liner deploying here on the east side, likely also 450, probably looking to get some crossfires with the other liners. Curiously enough, I am not seeing any backline assets. I am not seeing any Acellos, no carriers, nothing. This is an entirely frontline and cap fleet dedicated OSP team right here. The monitors, the liners, and the cap fleet. Similar thing with ANS here. Capitals, caps, the CLs are a little bit of a different pick here instead of frontline, but it looks like we're not going to have much supporting ships on either side.
Total tally count that I'm seeing so far seems to be for ANS side. Battleship, Axford, 2 Vauxhalls, and then a collection of sprinters and destroyers around the map with 1 frigate just towards the bottom side. OSP
likely
count.
A sensor asset, I would guess. That
there it is. OSP does, in fact, have a Moorline, the autonomous cargo ship. Late deployment
Deploying late, yeah. 30 seconds left on the clock, and that Moorline is finally out there, huh? Which means that that second liner is likely part of the cap fleet. Still nothing from ANS. ANS is just completely dedicated to capitals and the cavalry CLs.
All right. Total body count for the OSP side is high with the number of shuttles they got going around and those monitors as well. With like 5 monitors, I counted, I think it was 4 liners, the Moorline, and then however many plugs and shuttles. The OSP loves to bring those.
Monitor ball pivoted over to E last moment too.
Yep. We'll see how this ends up going here as we get our first deployment on the drop-in camera. I'm following, looks like a pair of destroyers, which I want to say the beam variety. No, rails.
I am following the Moorline. We did see a couple destroyers up by that Axford. I wonder if they're bringing in Axford plus Railstone
that
fleet.
would be a good fleet there, kind of a Redwood type. All right, I'll go through ANS side real quick. We are seeing Pyro coming in here with... Oh, wait, hang on. I think this might be Redwood style. Yep, we got ourselves Axford with the carrier backpacks and missiles on the sides here. Ball jammer, 450s on this thing. Up top is going to be 1 railstone, 2 railstones along there, so looks pretty good. Sticker Mink comes in with the cap fleet here. 1 beamstone headed towards a point hole there. Second one deploying towards the B side. Go low and probably cover A. Third beamstone towards C. Pretty standard deployments. They got themselves a missile and gun frigate underneath the map here. Got some hybrids on that. Fun stuff. And then rounding out the fleet looks like they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 gun cappers. Noticeably, these are cheaper side. They do not have the defender saving budget where they can with that relying on that. All right, Star comes in with Task Force, not quite Birch. I believe, yep, they still got the same name, so maybe a little bit of psyops there. Got themselves a little jamming Corvette and VLS-2 on it for some active decoys, along with a pair of CLs with missile backpack, if I had to guess. Probably some Acello killers on there. Yep, looks like it.
That's ABC. Yep, those are Acello killers, all right.
Lastly, we've got Vren coming in with a 450 battleship with a size 2 backpack. A lot of active decoys, tons of SDM2s in this thing. 50 to count on the backside. Damn.
Welcome to current carrier meta. This is
correlated
quad TC Spy as well.
Yeah, gonna provide high firepower. All right, Scape, why don't you tell me what OSP has brought to contend this?
Yes, OSP, starting with Davinen here, we have, looks like double 450 liner here with some support tugs. One of them is a full sensor build. We've got the Bloodhound and the early warning. Oh my god. We have 2 of those. Wow. Okay. Massive
Combination
sensor
ones
investment
here.
from Davenant here. These are low power, which means they can only fire 1 at a time, I believe.
A little bit light on these as they have no damage control whatsoever.
They have to be cheaper to fit them both in. The liners themselves have craft backpack with, I'm assuming, skiffs and pikes and some containers. I'm assuming those are decoys and helljoys. Yep, that's what it looks like. Up next, Dragonbender brings the cap fleet here. Looks like you have a little bit of a half cap fleet here with double 250 liner, with some container backpacks, and just, Ruddles. 1 Ruddle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, 4 gun shuttles, 1 cringe capper, and 1 Ruddle for the cap fleet there. Tasty is the one bringing the CL in here. We are large variety of different containers here. We do curiously have pikes on here, with some with the EO targeting ball, likely some saw in there too. Saw did get a nerf in the recent patch, however, it is still relatively good. And then rounding out OSP here, we have Velocity here with the monitor ball we saw in deployment here. I am seeing a mix of plasma and 100 mil on each one, gives this fleet some nice redundancy. I'm seeing jammers, I'm seeing soft kill, I'm seeing a Sows launcher on one of them too. Very nice spread of support and offensive components on those monitors there.
All right. That's the fleet's more or less covered. We see OSP has very good sensor coverage to the top of the map, swinging their early warning right now as they run into Star's Task Force Birch on the east side here. Dragonbender is going to cap that E point thanks to the sun drive in that shuttle, able to get onto point quickly. Sacred Mink is thinking about moving on to that point, but is going to be holding back at the moment with their capper, deciding not to hop on there as there's already some containers going out this way, fishing for targets.
OSP does delay the C-cap here. Rocket Box is out, forcing Secret Mink to pull back. Does take them off the point temporarily there, stopping the cap mid-capture there. A point, we have a gun capper and a gun shuttle. No, that's a cringe capper. ANS should win this A-cap engagement here as they step on a fully combat-capable capper there, although there is...
Monitor Ball is currently in arc, although they're not quite on target yet. They may be able to get some 100 mil on that A capper. It is currently locked onto, if I had to guess, by one of the monitors with a pinpoint. Not sure which one it is.
Could be the liner low as well, the 250 liner. Looks like that one also has arc.
Checking range. That should be within locking range, just barely on that.
No, it is definitely the monitors, as the capper conceals itself from the liner, but the monitors now have full arc to hit it on the side. Plasma and Hesh rounds coming
swing and a miss on it. Unfortunate. Plasma doesn't do much to the armor, but it does do damage. And at this point, they want everything they can. A capper will die for OSP.
Is maneuvering this thing into a really well protected spot there. There goes the target lock, concealed from both the 250 liner and the monitors here. Will it stay on the point? Looks like it's drifting. The reverse thrusters on this thing firing, trying to get it back onto the point.
Just barely drifting off that cap, losing a little bit of time here. Dragonbender is moving another capper on to try and contest against this.
One gun's already knocked out on the capper here. The shuttle should be able to win this fight if the beamstone is unable to support. And yeah, you can see the
250 liner opens up on the A-cap Corvette. See how well it can dodge. Evades the better part of the first salvo there, and will actually just manage to Orbulus against that.
Is ANS just going to take the cap here? I think ANS is just going to take it. Yeah. Dragonbender does not step onto the point.
Hybrid missiles are launched out from Pyro here, looking for that A-cap shuttle that was trying to reinforce. These are likely going to find it. Command Wake will...
There's CMD Wake, no target lock, though.
One of them going to... What the... okay? Two random...
That's what a low track quality does to a command missile.
Interesting. I think that they must have somehow lost the lock there. I'm kind of curious how they did that. Bullseye must not have been in an arc, and they relied on Parallax, perhaps, because that... Two of those missed off, and the third one just kind of got soaked by something.
Nice. Well, the capper takes a hit, but not bad. It hit on an off angle, and the HE doesn't do much. Meanwhile, ANS is securing E right now. Secret Mink steps onto the point here. Looks like the 250 line or the 450 liner from Davenant up high, unable to support. It does have secondary guns, which are trying to acquire the capper at E, but it will likely take the point before it is able to open up. Meanwhile,
E-cap gonna
Rails
go through
onto
here, yeah, and then...
ANS takes the 4-cap really early on. A
Oop,
very
Rocket
advantageous
Boxes
spot for
here
ANS.
fishing for the A-cap guard. They are going to go wide and pop on nothing for the most part. One last second, Dennis managed to get a strike, and ouch.
One restore on the Beamstone, although this is a very keystone moment here as the drive takes up all the damage and immediately dies. Not sure what those other rocket boxes popped on.
Yeah, that was very unusual. They
could have been
nothing.
Possibly Wake detected a faint trail and
very unusual with that. There was no pre-chaffing as we'd seen in other cases.
There's no jammer on the Beamstone either, so it couldn't have pre-staged the Hodge by jamming it out. Interesting. Curious little thing there. Rock boxes do hit, do knock out that Beamstone temporarily, although OSP has nothing in the A vicinity to really capitalize off that.
Tasty already programming another salvo. Might potentially follow up on that after getting an impact. We will see. Top of the map, Ren is exchanging a little bit of fire with Davenant over here. Davenant's 450 liner has lost its pinpoint, but not much else. It does have its Warbler offline, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's not been knocked out yet. Ren taking basically
nothing. The quad TC Spy is coming in clutch here as it is able to suppress all of these liners from long range. Davenant has not yet pivoted one of their Bloodhounds to point at that BB.
Oh no, Tasty critical error tries to do a time on target and whiffs 6 containers right into the rock face there.
Oh, probably a little bit of mismanagement of this Moorline's roll and heading there, trying to optimize it with those angled banks, and unfortunately, yeah, just launches them straight into a wall. These are...
But these are commands, so I'm guessing probably was a TRP error.
Likely, yes. These are going for the battleship, and you can see how poor that track quality is on the BB. This is a Bloodhound track tracking this BB. Those containers are likely going to miss just due to the inherent inaccuracy with command. They will
lock onto something with the saw, but that is a self-illumination cloud there. Also, the fighter escort from Aurora Flight is going to pick off those containers on
absolutely
approach.
Tears apart that salvo, yeah. Without the TOT there, this is going to be short work.
One container tries and fails just the last second. The defender on the escort corvette will take that thing out.
Massive launch of SDM 200s now out from the BB, absolutely annihilating those pikes, which are very detectable in the recent patch. One of them goes down, one of them evading the warhead, the missile running out of fuel too early there.
Aurora Flight going to see off that designating scout ship there, so these containers coming in here, these are going to be purely on their command, and yeah, it's just command seeker.
Yep. Although it looks like Davenant swapped over the Bloodhound to the BB, which means these command now have a much higher chance of actually hitting.
Ball jammer is active, and so is the point defense.
Is active. Looks like these containers, yep, they are aiming for that self-illuminated chaff cloud right there, and will likely miss. Whoa, never mind.
2 of them going to find purchase there. I don't believe
that was 3 hits into the bridge section. Could have been ARAD Val.
Yeah, no, ARAD Val would have caught that with Val.
Oh, that was Stern Val. That was Stern Val.
Oh, okay. Mixed salvo on these.
I bet the BB ignited its thrusters at just the wrong time there. Takes a couple hits. Fortunately, it's not too terrible here. The bulk mag takes an unfortunate snipe there, and the interruption goes down. Ooh, that's bad.
Interrupt jammer is kind of needed in this.
Comms jamming is offline right now. OSP attempts an E-cap here. The capper gets beamed and RPF'd by the CLs here. Very nice deny from ANS there. ANS holding firm on their 4-cap still, regardless of the damage the BB just took. OSP is in no position to really take any of these points that are being held. The monitor ball actually pulls back here from engaging the BB, realizing that they can't engage the BB at that long range gap with its quad TC Spy.
Cello killer is being deployed from Star here. Looks like only a pair of them. 2 missiles as opposed to the full 3. These are heading
for Davenant's liner here. It's likely that Star's probably ID'd the fact that there are no Acellos at this point in the game. ANS probably has a really clear picture of what OSP has. 2 of these are going to rock PD, though. They're going to unfortunately hit this pillar here as the direct fire command is just going to run them into a wall.
Rip.
2 will get through. These are probably decoy self-screening jammer. Yep, they launch. You can see them come in here.
Swing and miss on one, but the other finds impact.
One Not a whole lot of damage. Doesn't
Yeah.
even knock out that gun. That gun's still functional.
HECP missiles like this against the broadside of a liner, they can sometimes get lucky and punch out a gun, or maybe if you're real lucky, hit the complex, magazine, CIC, etc. But in this case, we see not the most effective usage of those. Personally, I would have liked to see those saved to take out a monitor as a good HECP hit and really dumpster those things fast, but they're just using what they had while they got it.
Star's probably just trying to knock out one of these liners as they're getting crossfired at pretty close range in those CLs, unable to jam out both ships at once. The Bloodhound track from the supporting tug is going to make those CLs really, really unhappy. Anyway, a rocket box strike from behind. These are Act Therm Wake Val.
Coming around, they're gonna engage now, but I think have the wrong angle. Yeah,
these are gonna miss. Yeah, unfortunately, they are simply pathed wrong.
Hang on a second. Potentially, they will catch Secret Mink's destroyer down low. Yes, they do.
No, they catch the chaff from the destroyer.
Nope. Wrong stage. All right.
Davenant rushing one of their 450 liners up close to these CLs, allowing the shells to have a shorter flight path into these targets here. It's going to make it much harder for these CLs to dodge, and you can see the damage on one of the CLs is already starting to add up here. One of the radar panels knocked out and pretty yellow across the board.
Bit of trouble coming towards these CLs as Star has caught the attention of the whole OSP team, and that's a time on target command strike.
To illuminate, yep. CMD Wake Hodge. CMD saw any ARAD Val. Maybe it wasn't. No, there's some third
Therm Val in there and ARAD Val.
I think it's the Therm Val that.
The scary thing here is that this squadron does not have its command jammer on. Star has their escort a little bit out of position, does not have the ball jammer active, might not have power for it, or is just having conflict order here, or may not suspect these are command. There's going to be a lot of incoming fire on these light cruisers here.
Yep, that's all flak. These are CMD guided on a ship that has,
Scrunch goes the proven factor.
Is still relatively strong here, ensuring this massive container hit into one of the CLs. That is a very major loss for ANS. Those are bomb container follow-ups too. This CL is completely mission killed. Only the drives left. No restorability there. Any HE round into this thing's likely going to finish, and you can see the liners are still opening fire. Star realizing they just need to get out of here right now as they're pulling their ships back. It's likely they're probably going to cede the E.2 OSP here.
OSP does step on Dragonbender with a capper right now. In the meantime, AN is kind of advancing across top of the map here. The Axford and Battleship working in tandem. Plasma rounds starting to fly out from the monitor ball as Ren is going to be caught here at low velocities. A couple of those will splash across the nose, but Battleship still has a lot of armor from that angle.
Right, the Battleship already moving back. This monitor ball pivots up into range of the BB. Perhaps the BB pushing a little bit too far over the A point here. Supporting fire from the Axford is now going out. The Battleship's not returning fire. Does it have track on the monitors? It doesn't! The jamming from the monitors is jamming out that quad TC spy, as the Battleship has nothing to fire at right now.
Battleship taking hits on the nose here, as it does. The rail destroyers from earlier did have some fishing containers sent towards them. Looks like the lead one did take a hit, taking out its magazine. Ooh, that's unfortunate hit on that thing.
Ooh. Completely missed that. Yeah, that's an immediate mission kill on one of these rails. That is really unfortunate. The other one is still
coordination. I assume that the other one, yep, it still is able to fire. There we go. So you have track on one of them now. The wrong way Stardust from Velocity over here will be taking a rail round or two in a second. There's the full 450 AP round salvo.
Curiously enough, Birch is firing at two different monitors right now, or they were. Oh, the monitors go dark again. The Axford and the BB were firing at two different targets there.
Might have just been coordinating fire for the time. Speaking of Birch, though, Star is going to be taking a lot of 450, but dodging well as they can in their voxels. HECPs will stage now, trying to go towards another one of these 450 liners.
A-Right keeps them running straight. One of them hits, knocks out a lot of the center stack there. One of the CICs is down, immediately being restored here. Yep. This liner... Only a basic CIC left in the nose, is at risk of going CIC down here out in the open. This is one of the 251s. It has pushed into 250 range. CL doing a really good job of dodging that incoming fire. There is no target lock on the CL, although it is still being tracked by Bloodhound. Jammer is out on the liner trying to hide it from being detected, although that Bloodhound tug is much out of the reach of ANS and is providing those really excellent tracks.
It's going to show what a little bit of range does here.
Hit it slow with the beamstone. The liner pushes up too far and takes a beam to the bottom.
Storage immediately sniped in the nose there. with a
Yep,
lucky
guns are
hit.
still on reload cycle. The beamstone not battle shorting though.
Beamstone,
There
now
it
going to flick
goes.
B short. There we are. The latch has been confirmed. Rocket Box is deployed towards Star here, trying to swing this fight as both players are getting
Structure
support.
break.
Rocket
Box
Box
is
is
out, or it looks like those are going to be a miss
Yep,
as the
swing
CLs
wide.
manage to dodge. Another container salvo out on the BB. BB sends SDM counterfire at the Illuminator ships, although there is enough up that they're going to illuminate. The BB has no its self-illum is not up. It's illuminating the monitors, trying to get track.
Yep, immediately going to see that
Comms
now
jammer's
broken
also
off
not
there as it's
firing.
cycling. These containers will find their way through. There's going to be
That's
a lot of
bomb
damage to the
follow-up,
Prince of
too.
Wales.
Those are bomb container follow-up, too. Yep, that BB's immediately gutted there. Comms jammer not firing, self-illuming, not tasked properly, trying to illuminate the monitors here as that BB takes a massive hit there. ANS is starting to bleed ships pretty quickly here. Now losing the A point, although
A point
Secret
is
Mink's
denied
Beamstone,
safely. Secret Mink got
they
the
do get
engines
their
back
Beamstones,
online for that
drives
destroyer
back
just
up.
in time to get it back onto the A point. That said, Dragon Bender in position with 250.
Yeah, the 250 liner is pretty much just going to step on the point here. Pyrope still firing at the monitors, has not swapped fire to that liner there. Rocket Box onto Secret Mink's destroyer, does manage to kill it, although Dragon Bender does trade one of their liners for it.
Trading in that fashion, definitely in favor of the ANS. These beam destroyers are, in kind of modern tech world, these are run very skeletal. You see them with a small restore just because you want at least one for the Raider drive, reactor, or nose beam, and then pretty much gutting everything else save for the chaff box and bullseye that you kind of have to bring to hit with beam.
Right. ANS is starting to lose their initial advantage here as it looks like OSP is going to take the 3 cap here. ANS still with a massive points margin advantage right now. We will see if that's able to sustain them into the late game here. Pyrope is pushed up pretty far here, using this rock as cover. The 250 liner firing a bunch of 250 AP into this battleship, trying to kill it. That AP is going to bite. That's enough angle for it to bite as this BB is taking massive damage. This BB has no restores left.
Battleship got pretty
It does have a
toasted
gun,
there.
CIC,
Not structure
a
broken,
gun,
but
and
not
a
in the fight
magazine.
either.
The VB still is somewhat combat effective there, even without restores. It has everything it needs to be offensive.
Another big question is for OSP's intel side,
damage.
how much do they think is left in the battleship? They know that they got some good impacts, but they don't know for sure that this thing's out of restores. We may see them divert their attention towards it again, go for another strike or such. Pyrope's staying alive right now, holding down the kind of seaside area. We're also seeing Secret Mink doing good jobs on the caps right now, moving towards that D point with their offside frigate, trying to either go fishing for the Moor line with some missiles. Not sure what they got in this. They got Goldfish Bullets, Compatriots, so we'll see what those end up being. D point potentially under threat here.
This is likely a backline snipe asset from ANS here. Those hybrids are likely built to kill Moor lines. A little late on that, though. A lot of the team has already died to that Moor line.
More missiles coming towards Star right now. These are command guided. Their track quality is decent enough with that.
Comms jammer is on, and it's likely that they have. Do they have EO ball in the area? No, they do not. They're completely reliant on that Bloodhound. These are CMD Saw, Therm.
Look like they're
going
to...
They fire at the last second.
Yep.
One of them acquires at the last second. Whips around, knocks out the entire front side of this CL here. 2 guns down, magazine down. One of the CICs knocked out. That is a very unfortunate hit from Star there.
To their credit, though, deflecting the better part of that salvo takes it on the chin, and while they do lose the 2 Mark 64s, they still have the front stack intact. They just need a little bit of repair time, which they might be able to get here. They're still under command and trying to evade as Davenant puts down some 450 fire.
CL's in a really bad spot right now. Those really low health stuff in the front, any 450 round there is going to knock them out here.
Vren continues to draw aggro top of the map as the monitor ball is focused on them, not realizing just how skeletized this battleship is.
Looks like the BB is likely trying to sacrifice dive for A at this point. Yep, you can see Vren's escort committing to the little sacrifice play. The 250 liner being engaged by Pyrope's Axford here, although this Axford at this range is likely not really going to be doing a whole lot. That liner will likely get into cover here.
ANS pretty far ahead on the cap score-wise, 686 points on the board versus OSP's 364. With a 2 cap, they should be able to win this. The question is, will their capital assets hold on long enough for them to get that? Right. Missiles out in the back line now from ANS. D-point
Yeah, the
capper
loss
going
of
to be
half
removed.
the CLs plus the loss of the BB is a really, really rough loss for ANS. The Beamstone fleet has as well been picked apart. Burkeen, which was guarding A, gets its beam knocked out with no restores, which leaves only the one on C currently active. ANS, though, it looks like they're going to start to make a play here for Dagger. The missile missing that was CMD guided in this.
Swing and a miss on the D-point. That's
Dagger,
unfortunate.
Yep.
I'm wondering,
Radar.
did they
Oh, it turns off
MCON,
its radars.
or-
They turned off its
Oh,
radars
clever.
on the D point, which decreases the signature size enough for it
Yep.
to hide.
Broke the
ANS now
parallax
stepping onto
block.
A.
Well done.
ANS steps onto A point with the BB's escort. It is under fire from the entire monitor ball. Will it survive long enough to take the point here? You can see the damage is already starting to add up on this thing.
Monitor ball is
CIC
firing grape
basic,
shot,
the
likely because they
liner
had it equipped.
hits from
is
below.
enough.
Yep, there goes. There goes the capper. Unfortunate. Pyrope is now sacrificing their mission-killed Railstone for the A point.
Ooh, interesting stuff. ANS really trying to go for this A point. Simultaneously, they want the caps, but at the same time, they are focusing OSP's attention here, trying to draw them away from any other point. Hasty sends some rocket boxes to defend D side. ANS just trying to essentially go for the desperation time play. Pyrope will lose their other Corvette up top of the map as rocket containers will find it just now. And looks like a cap attempt on to the E point will also actually be deflected here as the rockets were going to stage onto the chaff instead. Both teams really giving it their all. Star is effectively out of combat vessels, just trying to buy time. Same goes for Vren. Pyrope only
A
real
now
effective
being
capital
secured
unpowered right
by
now.
the liner here. The Keystone's not target locked at A. All the monitors are still focused on the BB. Will they start firing at that Keystone in time? ANS might just sneakily take A here, right in front of the entirety of the OSP team. ANS's play right now is
they're going to
desperately
change targets
holding the
right
points.
as you say that. 100 mil starts opening up high explosive rounds. Still enough to this
Not gonna pin
vessel that it might actually... Those are not penning. I'm
100
betting they
mil.
had
No, 100
HEHC
mil.
loaded.
That could have been HEHC. Yeah, normally 100 mil HE should pin destroyers there. It doesn't look like it did there.
Not a lot of armor
Plasma
on
now
these.
coming out and bombshells. Not Hesh. I don't think they're going to kill this thing in time.
250 from the liner is going to swing and hit some of it, but a lot of it just not getting the impact it wants, seeing this thing taking basically no damage here.
Yeah, Keystone managing its role, facing its CIC away from the incoming fire, and that's an A cap for ANS. ANS also, they're nearly
taking
dead
the
cap
E point here as they managed to win the fight on that.
It snipes the CIC on the gun capper on E, as ANS is going to resecure their 4 cap here if OSP's not careful.
Unbelievable luck with that.
Onto Dagger. Yeah, ANS is going to step onto Dagger with a half-killed capper.
Goes to show that you just need a little bit to just make the difference in this cap war situation.
Yep. This is 100% ANS's win condition right now. That 4 cap that they held at the beginning was a very, very advantageous thing for them. If they're able to hold the caps for long enough here, they simply win regardless of how damaged their front line is. The loss of the BB and a lot of the destroyers is really rough, but it's not necessarily an end game scenario for ANS as long as they're able to hold on long enough for those points to tick up. ECAP, is ECAP going to get denied? The ship has been target locked and is under fire from one of the 250 liners.
DCAP is,
ANS is going to
go through here. ECAP has gone through. This is a 4-cap situation.
Davenant forced to pivot one of their 450 liners back under hybrid threat now.
Hybrid's potential for a mag sniper CIC here. We'll see where these end up impacting. Going to be right in the midsection. That's going to gut one of these things magazine.
Structure broken. Yep. One mag has a crit. The other one is still operational. And that's a 5 cap from ANS here.
This back capper.
Even if it's only held temporarily, a 5 cap is an extremely advantageous thing to be. The BB now sacrificing itself onto A here. It's a mag, a gun, and an ox steering. As a CIC still, this BB is combat effective. The monitors cannot take the point.
Battleship, a skeleton of a hull.
They're gonna, as they
let's
pivot.
see.
So there goes A. As the mag
to win.
gets. Oh my god. ANS might... Here, there goes Dagger retake as the liner steps back onto the point. This 250 frigate is likely going to be unable to kill this thing. Why does it... Does it say this liner's drive down for you as well in the UI, Neko? The one on Dagger?
No, I'm seeing both drives active for it, but...
It has
ooh,
the icon
does have the drive
for
disable icon, that's true.
Down.
Oh, they forced a reactor scram. Oh no,
they
the
did
jury
to
rig
fix
reactor.
the JRR.
Interesting
That
stuff
liner
here.
now cannot roll its guns for the next 30 seconds. Are they an arc? No, it's power down too. Yeah, because of the scram.
Decap will go through here as that's a skeleton of a capper, and there is still guns active on the admittedly disabled for the moment decap liner. Rocket containers trying to fire out onto the D point. Some will actually sage. There they go. Finally gets that. Still, the decap held just for long enough.
Capper.
ANS 100 points off winning. OSP 500 points off. There is a significant difference here. ANS just needs to hold on to their points. Nothing threatening the C point right now. With a singular cap, they will have enough to just hold on to this game. OSP
Davenant's rushing onto B, though. Davenant's rushing onto B, though. That will help if they're able to take it. Only a gun capper there to hold Boxer. That is not going to be enough to stop that liner. You can see here Secret Mink is already beginning to... No, they're not. They're not abandoning Boxer. Looks like ANS is just going to hold for as long as possible on the caps they have, which is definitely the play right now.
ANS 2 cap looking already good.
ANS,
that 5 cap skyrocketed their points total for a very fast, like, surge.
All ANS needs to do right now is hold for just a little bit longer and they win this one. This is their win condition. The very, very, very aggressive push onto points early on secures them, I think, enough points to be able to win this one if they are able to maintain their current situation. Pyrope is effectively... There's only like 3-4 effective combat chips left on ANS right now. Secret Mink's gun frigate in the back line. Pyrope's Axford. And then Mink has a Beamstone and a Gun Capper. Although one of the Gun Cappers, the one that's still functional, is just going to get torn apart on Boxer here by Davenant's liner.
B-Capper is going to be a little awkward to hit here as these 100 mil guns, they're trying to rotate over, but just there's, 3 of them currently in arc, so it'll take them a little bit to try and poke away at this Gun Capper here, buying every second they can for the ANS side.
Right. Tasty Cookie unable to land container hits on this gun frigate down here as it just continues to move. It is not on sensors. It is perfectly hidden.
One of them is going to hit the...
Stars Gem Escort for their DLs, unfortunately just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. It just gets annihilated there. Oh! The liner on Dagger is mags down. This 250 capper... This 250 frigate is winning the gunfight against this liner.
Just show just what structure break can do.
The liner has no track on the frigate. Only a bridge master. Yeah, both mags have been down here. This thing has only 1 restore. There goes the track.
Finally gets a shot,
it's firing
it's on the chaff. That's the only thing you can see. Secret Mink, the
As you can see,
oil
Davenant
here in the back line,
realizes what they did and immediately just holds fire.
It's a Prowler drive. This is a sneaky little frigate in the back line for hunting assets like this.
Oh, yeah. Boxer now being lost here as Davenant manages to kill the gun capper on the B point here, although there are no ships nearby C right now.
No.
And that Beamstone and Axford are guarding it pretty well. I think this is going to be an ANS victory. I don't think OSP can get onto C in time.
Davenant ANS wins with a 1 cap here. Maneuver one of their tugs over to C point, but Secret Mink is on the ball, and I believe they've already got a lock on that.
Yeah, it's already target locked as Secret Mink has already oriented their beam. It's currently out of range. The Beamstone is diving back into cover just so it doesn't get sniped by like a container liner or a 450 ship that still has arc.
Tasty Cookie is down to 2 rocket boxes and a decoy container clipper, so if there was hope for them to provide rocket support towards C, they're going to have to gamble off of 2 shots there. Additionally, Mink is moving one of their other ships over. I believe that this thing, yes, does have a chaff box with a arming missile on it, so that can dissuade people from getting the C cap. Pyrope as well.
Star sacrificing, Star is also sacrificing their last CL to Boxer, forcing the liner on B to stay on the point. Dragonbender finally finds what's left of Secret Mink's Beamstone underneath E. That's going to be cleaned up pretty quickly here, although at this stage I don't think it matters. ANS is 100% going to win here on the 1 cap. There is no ship in range to take the C point.
C divided by 2. I do wish we had the timers for tick down to win, but hey, requested features.
We don't even need need timers for this, Neko. OSP is 350 points away from winning, and
I just want to say
20.
it's like they're 30 seconds of a win or such, but yeah, 2 ticks or 2 points per tick here. Going to see the beam firing off from the WDD-40. Love that name.
That's going to secure ANS's victory there. Yep, Tasty calling it GG, recognizing that there's no way to retake the C point in time.
Incredible gameplay there. Swings from both sides.
Maintenance as a Birch is going to take round 1 here, as their cap aggression and ability to hold even after losing most of their fleet is going to carry them to victory here.
OSP brought a good collection of assets. I liked what they did with the container strikes, followed up immediately by their team's 450 fire. That is a massive number against the Star CL on the, I guess from ANS perspective, left side, OSP's right on the E-cap. We then saw, I think Vren did a very good job at kind of playing like reverse possum, making it look a lot more like they were alive and active than they were, drawing a whole bunch of fire from that monitor ball for a long time.
Right. The monitor ball just too slow to move on to C in time. Yeah.
I think it's going to take a little bit more damage there. ANS team in shambles, all but completely destroyed, but they will get to the cap total of 1,000 first. That will be battle over here.
ANS nearly throwing with the misplay of their soft kill on both the CLs and the BB there. That was really unfortunate to watch, but it didn't matter. They just had enough in the tank to hold even without their frontline and CLs.
Take a look at these damage numbers. Pyrops rail DDs don't get too much to shoot at over the course of the game. Also, the damage dealt is not shown, as most of that is fires caused and atmosphere leaks and whatnot. Couple 17k on their capital.
Got knocked out pretty early too, which was rather unfortunate, but
Beamstones get a little bit of work done there. Loving the backline tech of this like 500 points.
This frigate.
Ninja frigate. This thing's amazing.
Work. Star, unfortunately, not really able to have much battle impact there. Misplays their jam escort and just gets annihilated by the containers.
Still able to pull almost 10k with Mark the Time. Not bad.
The BB doing pretty good.
Prince of
its
Wales?
real number, though, is in that that damaged received stat. Yeah. Able to just, even after all the damage it took, it was still alive on A. It forced some of those monitors to have to stay on the A point, or else they would have resecured it.
You can take a look and see that it does still have, I believe it's the CIC and magazine are the two compartments that aren't redded out on this thing. It had the belly gun as well, keeping it contesting.
For a while there. Davenant, you can immediately tell which one of the two 450 liners was the one engaging the CL and which one was trying to engage the front line. As Leave Nothing But Blooms absolutely annihilates those CLs. Follow-ups really nicely from the container strike. And then the other one kind of got zoned out pretty well there by the front line.
Dragonbender getting some work done with the 250 liners where they could. Never got the greatest chance to engage with them, but they did their jobs well.
The one on A did really good work. It was able to push that Beamstone back from guarding A and was allowed the team to take the point. Although the other one, unfortunately, pushed up too far and got beamed by Secret Mink there.
Tasty cooking just shy of 48k in their container liner here. They're gonna...
Tasty definitely the star of the show for OSP. Able to knock out pretty much two fleets by themselves. Very, very excellent container play from them.
Yeah. I'm going to see now Velocity. Monitor Ball, this is kind of a pick on OSP side currently to keep ANS honest, trying to dissuade Sprinter or Frigate Ball from coming to play. But at the same time, it is a low mobility fleet. So as we saw, they struggled to kind of get anywhere they really wanted to be.
They were unfortunate. They were out of position a bit at the beginning, but they did pivot up top pretty well there, engaging the BB. But late in the game, they were just not fast enough to really move on to the points they needed to be on. And yeah. ANS wins through their ability to hold territory even after suffering heavy losses. Very excellent play for maintenance as a Birch here.
Really goes to show the tactics in the control game where your goal is to just hit the score limit before your opponent does. The way you go about doing it is entirely your own deciding. With some of the bragging rights that people get, again, Tasty pulls 48k in a container liner. Very respectable stuff for the Missileer. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, did you get to the 1,000-point mark before your opponent? And we saw Maintenance of the Birch absolutely played the field for that.
Right.